One of the main reasons why I believe the Clippers are going to win a championship this year is because they have elite scoring from multiple positions. The Clippers are the only team in the NBA right now with 4 players averaging over 18 points per game. The only other closest team to match that is the Boston Celtics and maybe the Toronto Raptors. Kawhi can give you 27 a game. Paul George giving you 22 a game. Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell both giving you 18 to 19 points per game. There's not no other team in the NBA who have 4 players who can give you that many points and all do it at an elite level for the position and their role. This is why I believe the Clippers are so deadly, because they don't have to worry about where they're going to get scoring from if Kawhi Leonard is out and if Paul George is out, because off the bench you got Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell, and they're going to pick up the slack when Kawhi Leonard and Paul George leave as far as scoring. Also, with these 4 scoring options, it makes them even deadlier in the clutch, because they can give the ball to any of these 4 players, particularly Lou Williams, Paul George, and Kawhi, and they know they can get a good to great shot off almost every time in those situations, because those 3 players are so great in one-on-one situations. Another reason why I believe they're going to win a championship this year is because they have elite defensive wings. We knew that before the season even started, that the Clippers were going to be one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. Right now, the Clippers are 4th as far as defensive rating in the league, and they are led by Patrick Beverley, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George on the defensive end. All 3 of those players have made the all-defensive team multiple times, with Kawhi Leonard being a 2-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year. Having this many great defensive players relieves the pressure off of Doc Rivers so much, because he can throw multiple bodies at the opposing team's best players and not have to tire out his best players because they're playing defense on the opposing team's best player nearly the whole game. Imagine this Clippers team going up against a team like the Bucks in the finals, or the Lakers possibly if they reach the Western Conference Finals. They can throw multiple bodies at Giannis and LeBron and not have to worry about tiring themselves out. And they could also tire out both Giannis and LeBron, because the Clippers have multiple bodies to throw at them, which can wear them down, wear them out, and give them a great chance at winning these games. We all know Doc Rivers is one of the best coaches in the NBA. And we all know that he loves to emphasize team defense. Let's even look at his teams with the Celtics back in 2008 through 2012. They were great defensive teams. He made his teams buy into his system and play great team defense, and it paid his dividends, as those teams were always championship contenders. And just like he did in the past, with this Clippers team right now, he has that team bought into his system, and they're playing great team defense. One other thing that I feel like people really sleep on as far as the Clippers and why I believe they will win an NBA championship this year is because I believe the Clippers are an elite 3-point shooting team. You really don't hear too many people say how great of a 3-point shooting team the Clippers are, but when you look at the players going down the list from Kawhi, Pat Bev, PG, Landry Shamet, Reggie Jackson, Patrick Patterson, and JaMychal Green, all of these players are elite 3-point shooters. The Clippers are 6th in the NBA right now in 3-point percentage at 37.1, and have 8 constant rotation players who all shoot 36% or higher from the 3-point line. We all know how the league is today. The better the 3-point shooting team you are, the better chance you have at winning the NBA championship. Another thing that people may not have realized, but I feel like puts them a little bit more over the top as far as why I believe they'll win an NBA championship, is their improved inside play. A weakness the Clippers may have had in the past was that they were too small on the front court. The only true big man they really have is Zubac, who's a legit 7 foot. But the rest of the big men like Montrez or Patrick Patterson or JaMychal Green all range from around 6'7" to 6'8". and that could possibly lead to them struggling against some of the best bigs in the game due to them lacking interior size. I feel like adding Joakim Noah helped their interior defense. Noah can still today supply his team with great defense, whether it's guarding the opposing team's best big at a high level, switching on screens to guard guards, making quick rotations, or even protecting the rim. Joakim Noah can also bring great passing from the low block too, as he is still an elite passing big man in this NBA. Now when Zubac is out the game, they have another big who can come in off the bench and give them great interior defense and be a presence out there on the court along with Montrezl Harrell. Another reason why the Clippers will win an NBA championship this year is because of their depth. The Clippers have the best depth in the NBA. When you look at their players 1 through 10, you can argue that they probably have one of the best 1 through 10 rotations in NBA history. Now let's look at their roster. They got Pat Bev at the point guard, one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. They got PG and Kawhi at the 2 and the 3, two of the best two-way players in the league. They got Marcus Morris starting at the 4, who with the New York Knicks was averaging close to 20 points per game. And they got Big Zubac in the middle, who's a young, good center who's still developing. Not only do the Clippers have one of the best starting fives in the NBA, they arguably have the best bench in the NBA. They got Reggie Jackson coming off the bench at the point guard position, who is a starting caliber point guard in the NBA, and just last season was averaging around 15 and 5 assists. They got Lou Williams at the 2, who's consistently give you 20 points per game off the bench and who's consistently a 6th Man of the Year candidate. They got Shamet at the 3, a lights out shooter. Montrezl at the 4, who gives you 18 and 7, and this year is also a 6th Man of the Year candidate. And now they can bring Joakim Noah at the 5, who we all know was previously a Defensive Player of the Year and can still bring great energy and interior defense to this team. The Clippers can still also bring JaMychal Green and Patrick Patterson off the bench to give this team great floor spacing because they are excellent three-point shooting power forwards. Lastly, there's no team in the NBA that the Clippers cannot match up with their current roster right now. When we start to look at all the best teams in the NBA, they can easily match up with all of them. They have plenty of perimeter defenders to where they can match up with players like LeBron, Luka, Harden, Russ, and Tatum. They can also play small ball too with Montrezl at the 5 to match the quickness of teams like the Rockets and the Celtics. And lastly, with the addition of Joakim Noah, they can now play bigger lineups to help them match up with some of the bigger teams in the league like the Lakers, the Raptors, the Bucks, and the Nuggets. With the Clippers' elite scoring, elite defensive play, elite three-point shooting, improved inside play, and the versatility as a team as far as lineups, I believe the Clippers are best equipped to win an NBA championship this year, and I do believe they'll be taking home that Larry O'Brien trophy this year too. I hope y'all enjoyed my video. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'm out.